This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 14th day of October in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Guyana has seen improvements in a number of subject areas at both the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency and Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate examinations for this year. During a ceremony hosted this morning at the Arthur Chung Convention Center to launch the CXC 2021 results, Director of Operations at the Caribbean Examination Council, Dr. Nicole Manning, said that at both the CAPE and CSEC levels, the performance of Guyanese students improved, and Guyana also outperformed the rest of the Caribbean in a number of subject areas. This year, CXC saw an increase in the number of students who did not turn up to write their exams across the region, and also an increase in the number of students who have requested to write the exams at a later date. Over 15,000 deferral requests were received for various subjects by students across the Caribbean. The exams written by the St. Vincent students were different to the ones offered to the rest of the region. The Registrar and CEO of the Caribbean Examinations Council, Dr. Wayne Wesley, also spoke about the impact that the pandemic and other factors continue to have on the exams and the region. He said CXC understands its functions well, and although it might be faced with challenges, it has been working to overcome those challenges, while looking out for the best interests of the students who have to write the various examinations administered by the regional body.
I want to assure you that we understood the impact that COVID-19 would have on performance. Therefore, our deliberations during the marking and grading processes gave full consideration to ensure that candidates were not disadvantaged while ensuring the integrity of the examination process.
The CXC Registrar went on to state that there is now a need more than ever for the region to re-examine the curriculum for secondary schools.
I don't know why we can't have a curriculum that allows students to complete what they need to know in the 4 years the Ministry of Education would have established for students to learn. We have an attitude now for a lot of extra lessons. We are pressuring the students, giving them a lot of information overload, and when they're stressed out, we wonder what is happening. We need to find an approach that creates an appropriate balance that allows students to demonstrate the critical competencies required to function in society and have that ability to apply to any content.
Guyana's Minister of Education, Priya Manik-Chan, reflected on the issues that arose last year when the results were released and students across the region objected to their grades. The objections forced CXC to review all of the grades. The Education Minister said she hopes moving forward, a situation like that never resurfaces. Minister Manik-Chan said the COVID-19 pandemic has created many lessons for the education sector and learning and teaching. She said it is clearer now that there is a need for countries across the region to work closer as a unit.
It therefore means that as we revamp, retool, and recover sustainably from our recent and ongoing challenges, we must do so armed and assured of the support of sister territories. The issues of learning loss, student displacement, dropouts, curriculum coverage, malaise and anxiety, to name a few, can be best surmounted within a cooperative context. This ceremony today speaks volumes in that regard and is also a testament to the potential for significant achievements when we work as a unit. Arriving here was not easy, and I'm sure there were disagreements about in-person, out-of-person, online only. But the experience taught us that common ground is always attainable if we place the region's children at the forefront of our priorities.
Next month, CXC will host a special conference for education ministers and other senior officials from across the region to look at ways of improving and supporting the work of the examinations body. While today was the official day for the release of the results, students will be able to access their individual results from tomorrow via the online portal. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
Hello everyone, my name is Malika Mutu. I'm a pediatrician. I am fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and I am so happy because today I was able to bring my son to be vaccinated against COVID-19. He has just received his first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. I am happy and I am relieved because he will be fully protected by the time he is ready to go back to school. I encourage all parents to get their children vaccinated so that we can safely send our children back to school. Please do not hesitate, parents. Please get your children vaccinated as soon as possible.
Mobile Dalvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Dalvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Welcome back. The Chief Education Officer here in Guyana, Dr. Marcel Hudson, has urged parents to continue to encourage their children, even if they do not perform well at this year's CXC examinations. While Guyana has continued its successful CSEC and Cape Rain, the country has also recorded a decline in the pass rate for critical subject areas, such as English A. Nonetheless, the CEO said there are signs of hope, which is an indication that the education system across the region is moving in the right direction.
I wish to encourage parents who might think that their children have not done well, not to be discouraged or to despise them. It was Winston Churchill who espoused that success is never final, failure is never fatal. It is courage that matters. All of us have our strengths and weaknesses, which serve to remind us that we need one another and that we need to work harder as a team to ensure every child fulfills his or her potential in their area of giftedness.
Dr. Hudson also said learning difficulties experienced by students must be diagnosed and the right teaching methodology must be developed to address those difficulties.
I wish to extend sincerest gratitude to those teachers who defied the odds, who went to work with purpose, with a view of producing quality students. I say to you, do not become weary in well-doing, for in due season you will be rewarded.
Dr. Hudson also said it must be acknowledged that the Caribbean region is not where it needs to be educationally, and for that to change, there needs to be a will to build the capacity of educators.
There is no shortcut, alternative, or way around it. We must forever seek to develop programs that will cultivate leadership values and skills with our stakeholders, coupled with the creation of authentic relationships, which are necessary ingredients for true transformation of the education sector.
The Chief Education Officer of Guyana was one of the speakers at this morning's CXC launch of the release of the 2021 results for CSEC and CAPE. Opposition leader Joe Harmon today called out the government for prioritizing issues related to the Guyana Sugar Corporation while leaving public servants to fend for themselves as the cost of living skyrockets across the country. The government recently announced a $250,000 grant for sugar workers who lost their jobs when the APNU-AFC government closed some sugar estates. The one-off grant is being paid to the workers, although they were all paid their severance packages, and many of them regained employment in the sugar industry. The government has not given any salary increase to public servants since taking office over a year ago. During his press conference today, the opposition leader said there has been a significant disparity in spending on Gaisuko as compared to the public service.
The latest being the $250,000 for severed sugar workers, which is in addition to the severance they already were paid. These same sugar workers were paid severance in 2018. Now I understand Jaggi is calling it justice for these sugar workers. Well, there are a lot of justice that needs to be dealt with.
Mr. Harmon also said Guyanese must be concerned about how the government continues to treat its public servants, who he described as the backbone that holds the nation together.
So when you spend $14.5 billion within a year or more on Gaisuko, and in that same period, all you could have spent was $4.3 billion on the public servants and the frontline workers. What message are you sending? What messages are you sending? Where is the balance? Where is the equity? Where is the justice in all of this?
Mr. Harmon also said he has taken note of the spending by the government without proper oversight, noting that billions of dollars have been doled out in cash grants and the government has yet to say where the money is coming from or when it was approved by the National Assembly.
Significant amounts of money have been spent for these band-aid cash grants and other seemingly ad hoc measures, and these sums were not budgeted for.
According to the opposition leader, when the National Assembly reconvenes, the opposition plans to vigorously seek answers from the government on its spending. The government has defended its spending and is expected to seek funds from the Assembly through a supplementary budget. Let's tell you now that former Finance Minister Winston Jordan today debunked claims that he was ever involved in nefarious transactions while he served as Finance Minister under the last government. He said he's not bothered by any criminal probe that the current government might want to start against him, and he will not be intimidated. Jordan has been outspoken on the government's handling of the economy since it took office, and he's also been very critical of a number of the government's budgetary measures. Attorney General Anil Nandlal recently stated that there is an active investigation into the dealings of the former APNU-AFC coalition government. He singled out the former finance minister for being involved in nefarious transactions. The Attorney General said a file is currently being prepared to be sent to the police for the commencement of a criminal probe. In a statement this afternoon, the former finance minister said the statement made by the Attorney General is without basis and is meant to malign his character.
These allegations are false, baseless, and repugnant. As on a previous occasion, circa November 2020, I say without fear that they are designed to impugn my character, tarnish my image, and lower my esteem in the eyes of my family, friends, admirers, well-wishers, and the general public.
Mr. Jordan contends that a statement about the criminal probe is intended to intimidate him in light of his scathing criticism of the government's approach to development in the country.
I wish to thank all those persons who have praised my stewardship in office, continue to express full confidence in me, and urged me to raise my voice higher and harder for a better Guyana. I wish to reassure everyone that I, Winston Jordan, former Minister of Finance in the coalition government, perform my duties in compliance with the oath of my office and to the best of my abilities. This I have done in my over 35 years of public service in various capacities. I have consulted with my lawyers on this latest attempt to malign me in public, and we have agreed on a certain course of action. Aluta continued.
Before he became finance minister under the coalition government, Winston Jordan, who is an economist, worked with a number of international financial institutions and also served as budget director for several years on the previous PP civic governments. 6 more COVID-19 related deaths have pushed the total number of deaths recorded in the past 13 days to 58, based on the figures released by the Ministry of Health. And a 4-year-old boy from Region 1 is among the 6 fatalities. The 5 adults who passed away were all unvaccinated. The country has also recorded another 159 new cases of the virus, taking the total number of active cases to more than 3,700. Today, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the ministry is seeing increased hospitalizations across the country, with the majority of patients being admitted to the COVID-19 hospital at Liliendal and requiring oxygen.
So right now we have 134 persons in hospitals, 89 persons at the Ocean View Hospital, with 32 of them in the ICU. We also have 14 maternal cases, 6 of them were in the Ocean View Hospital and 8 at the Georgetown Public Hospital. For the rest of the hospitals around the country, we have about 33 patients with COVID in hospital. And right now we have in total about 76 persons who are on oxygen.
The Ministry of Health is hoping that more persons will get vaccinated, since almost 90% of the deaths recorded in the past month have been unvaccinated persons. The Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine is now being made available across the country. 2 former policemen who were recently found guilty of raping a woman when she visited a police station to file a report were both slapped with a sentence of 25 years in jail today. The victim said she was attacked and raped in a washroom in the Turkine police station by the 2 police officers. The 2 ex-cops, 29-year-old Delon Chapman and 35-year-old Leon Ashby, both appeared virtually before Justice Joanne Barlow for the sentencing. Just before the judge handed down the sentence, the attorney for the 2 men requested a lenient sentence, while insisting that his clients are both fathers who can be rehabilitated and placed back into society. The 2 men have maintained their innocence from the time they were charged. They were found guilty by a jury a few weeks ago. The prosecution asked the court to consider the nature and gravity of the charges and the conviction, and the prevalence of sexual violence that plagues the Guyanese society. The prosecutor said the men were placed in a position to serve and protect, but instead they were against their oath. In handing down the 25-year jail sentence to each of the suspects, Justice Joanne Barlow said she considered the circumstances of the trauma and breach of trust the incident caused to the victim. She also said there was no remorse shown by the convicts. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. we must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley met and held talks yesterday with U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. The COVID-19 pandemic, the looming climate crisis, and security were the main issues discussed during the meeting in Washington. Mottley and Harris acknowledged the 55-year-old diplomatic relationship between Bridgetown and Washington and committed to deepening cooperation between Barbados and the U.S.
The relationship between the United States and Barbados is a very important one. Also, the relationship between the United States and CARICOM is an important one, and your role of leadership there has been, I think, very significant in making clear the importance of the region and the importance of the relationship.
The Barbadian Prime Minister expressed concern that the Caribbean faces serious risk from climate change. And in response, Vice President Kamala Harris said climate change was one of the biggest threats facing the globe and assured the region of Washington's support. The two leaders also discussed more cooperation to fight COVID-19 and how the U.S. can further boost security cooperation in the region. Kamala Harris is the first female U.S. Vice President, while Mia Mottley is the first female Prime Minister of Barbados. Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, has announced that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Jamaica, and Haiti were among 6 countries yet to vaccinate 20% of their populations. Etienne said though the 6 countries lagged the rest of the area, Latin America and the Caribbean was on track to reach the World Health Organization COVID-19 vaccination target of 40% before the end of the year. The PAHO director highlighted that while the overall vaccination rate in Latin America and the Caribbean currently stands at 39%, in far too many places coverage is much lower. She added that as more vaccine doses are making their way to the region, countries must make necessary preparations so the doses can be used as quickly as possible. PAHO is working to accelerate vaccine deliveries to Latin America and the Caribbean, including COVAX procured and donated doses. In the past few days, PAHO worked to fast-track the delivery of 1.3 million vaccine doses donated by Spain, Germany, Canada, and the US, which will be used to boost coverage in Honduras, Guyana, Argentina, and Jamaica. And finally tonight, international news. Pakistan's International Airlines has suspended flights to the Afghan capital Kabul, citing heavy-handed interference from the Taliban. The decision came after the Taliban ordered the airline to cut prices to levels seen before the fall of the Western-backed government in August. The airline has been the only foreign carrier operating regular flights out of Kabul. Tickets to the Pakistani capital Islamabad have been selling for up to 10 times the August rate. The Taliban government's transport ministry said in a statement quoted by Reuters that tickets should be adjusted to correspond with the conditions of a ticket before the victory of the Islamic Emirate. It urged passengers to report any violations of the order, which was also directed at Afghan carrier Kam Air. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.